Hey, Jeff Lerner here, and I'm excited to shoot this video for you about 3 entrepreneurs to learn from. This is from 3 of my favorite podcast episodes, and a little bit about what I learned from each of these episodes. And I'm going to move through this very quickly because I want you to have minimal time listening to me talk about them so you have maximum time to go actually listen to the episodes. The first one I want to talk to you about is episode 254 with Kevin Kelly, who is the co-founder of Wired magazine. And the thing I'll say about Kevin, so again, he's a co-founder of Wired magazine, which I'll assume you're familiar with Wired, but it's one of the most relevant and sort of progressive magazines as far as what's going on in the world around technology and the fast evolving future. And Kevin is one of the world's foremost experts really on the future and what it holds. But he's also, I think, unique among, there's a class of people we call futurists, right? That are people that are like super wired into the future and super into helping us understand and make predictions about the future and kind of help us flesh out all the different possibilities so that as technology gets shaped, you know, we can shape technology to steer us toward the future, toward a desirable future and not a terrible apocalyptic dystopian future, right? And so there's this group of people in the world, futurists that technologists very often look to help make technology decisions. And Kevin is one of those people. Like, he's well respected and well regarded in Silicon Valley and you know, most of the places in the world where technology is being developed. But my experience of Kevin is just such a warm-hearted human being, somebody that is so sensitive and aware of the interconnection or the intersection, you might say, of humanity and technology. He talks a lot in this episode about the fears around artificial intelligence and how, you know, what we've got right, what we've got wrong in terms of the popular narrative. He talks about his book that he just wrote. He talks about, you know, 30 years of photography that he did in, you know, of different cultures in Asia and a lot of very, very human stuff. Just a really, really incredible guy and a great conversation, and one that ultimately for me was extremely optimistic about the future. I think that's something that's missing a lot in the world today, is just overt optimism about the future. People like to be very pessimistic about the future because it helps sell media, sell advertising, sell movies, sell books, and so forth. But really, I think we have a lot of reason to be very optimistic about where the world is headed, and Kevin helps us unpack that and also contextualize it for us, for ourselves as individuals, how to really take advantage of and benefit from emerging technology as it unfolds and not just, you know, bury our heads in the sand or be afraid. So great episode 254. The next one I want to share is episode 174 with Les Brown. If you've ever watched motivational videos on YouTube, you've no doubt seen one of the great motivational speakers in the history of motivational speakers, Les Brown. The guy just has a gift. I would say he has a gift for motivational speaking the way Mahalia Jackson or Maria Callas or Enrique Caruso, they have a gift to be on a stage and produce a certain sound. Well, Les Brown has that gift when it comes to motivational speaking and lifting people up. He's spoken to crowds as large as 80,000 people around the world. He's widely regarded as one of the best in history. And he was a huge influence for me at a time when, honestly, it wasn't even words I needed to hear. It was feelings I needed to feel years before when I was really struggling. And one of his talks in particular, I remember watching the YouTube video. I want to say it was in Atlanta, talking to big arena, probably 40, 50,000 people. And I remember just listening to that talk and feeling like, man, I know I'm down and out, but I think I can dig out of this, right? And so it was incredible, you know, nearly 15 years later to get to have him on the podcast. And it was actually really, really powerful because my mom had died not long prior. And we really got into talking about, he really almost helped me process some of the grief around my mom passing. And it was like, I remember the whole time sitting there, like I had my little, you know, you have your little objective self on your shoulder that kind of comments. He's like the narrator of your own life. And he's like, wow, Jeff, you're processing your grief over your mother passing with Les Brown right now. This is probably something you're going to remember for a really long time. And sure enough, like I said, it was pretty impactful. and it's all recorded for the world to hear. But obviously that wasn't the entirety of the conversation. It was originally booked for 30 minutes, and I think we ended up talking for almost an hour and a half because he seemed to be enjoying it, and so did I, and we just decided to keep rolling with it. So definitely enjoy that episode. And then the final episode, this was episode 200, and this was actually my second episode that I did recording with my wife, Jaqueline. The first episode we did was actually on our approach to parenting, and this second episode, that was the 200th episode of the show, so I decided to do something special with it, was actually talking about our unique entrepreneurial partnership and how, even though I'm sort of out there more prominently as the entrepreneur in the family, it really truly is a team effort. And I will say one of the main points of feedback we've gotten on this episode is how beneficial it's been for some people to listen to and actually listen to with their partner when they're either considering becoming entrepreneurs or already in the thick of it and maybe struggling and having to spend a lot of time and really trying to understand how to navigate a partnership, or in our case, a marriage, and a family and a business, and how to make it all work in a way where they're not competing with each other, but in fact, they're contributing to each other, and the sum can be even greater than its parts. So anyway, 3 wonderful episodes of the show. Thank you in advance if you go listen to any of those. We'll put the links somewhere on this video to these 3 episodes, and I certainly hope you enjoy them. Thank you.